This is the Vince Salerno Podcast Halloween special. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween and horror films with special guest Courtney Campbell. So sit back and relax, guys, because this spectacular episode starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Vince Salerno Podcast on this Monday, October 17th, 2016. Not Friday, which is out of ordinary for me, but, you know, this was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing, but I'm happy to do it. Anyways, I'm your host, Vince Salerno, and our special guest today is a good friend of mine who's done a couple things in the film industry.
A little things.
She is Miss Courtney Campbell.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm so happy to be here.
Why don't you, well, we're happy to have you here. Why don't you tell the lovely people listening about yourself?
So I graduated from JPCU, winter quarter.
Go Pelicans.
Whoop, whoop. I think there's one other kid who graduated with me. So did the film thing at school, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. I'm going in the hospitality industry, but I still have a love for film, love television, so that's pretty much where I'm at.
So you like talking about movies.
I love movies. I annoy people with movies because I'm going in the hospitality industry and they don't want to talk about movies. So what do? I talk about movies.
Well, they're going to have to suck it up. So, as you guys probably know, this is our Halloween, sorry, not your episode. This is my podcast.
It is your podcast. I mean, I could take it if you want.
No, it's okay. You got a blog. I have a podcast.
True.
So this is our Halloween episode. My Halloween episode. Gosh! This is my Halloween episode for my podcast. Kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Courtney texted me the other day. We were just talking. And just came up with the idea, and I'm like, I would love to do that.
This totally started as a joke. This was not a ploy to get me onto your show.
No.
I just came out of my mouth.
And I'm always up for having special guests because those episodes seem to do a lot better when there's a special guest on there.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're happy to have you. So this is our Halloween episode where, Halloween is a time for trick-or-treating and watching scary movies and candy and
scaring people
and dressing up in ridiculous costumes and
like I'm wearing right now. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to call that a costume, I mean, sure. So, to celebrate this momentous annual occasion, Halloween, we're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween and horror films. First, starting off with Halloween. So most of you probably know, if you've been following my podcast since episode 1, one of my favorite films of all time is Ghostbusters, and that is going to be number 1 in my list of Halloween films. I remember the day my mom showed me Ghostbusters. My mom, my sister, and I were night owls. We wanted to watch something it was Halloween weekend. We wanted to watch something to sort of end the season. So we watched Ghostbusters. First time watching it, and it's one of my favorite movies today. And it's inspired a lot of ideas I've had, and has fueled my love for science fiction. And it's I like it because it's funny, but it's also kind of scary too. And it's there's some funny supernatural elements to it, and just the way the characters react. And the one thing I love about it, especially with the cast, is that like nobody else is funny except for the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the areas where the new film kind of fails. They try and make everybody funny, or they try and make fun of everyone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, didn't feel realistic.
Because Bill Murray. You can't compete with Bill Murray. Just don't.
So yeah, the thing that makes Ghostbusters so great is that there are these 4 bumbling scientist guys. One doesn't care. One's overcommitted. One's overcommitted, but in a different way. And then one's just there. And it's just a funny comedic duo. And then everybody else is all serious and stuff. And just watching that clash with these crazy people it's hilarious. And then the special effects hold up even to this day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of my favorites. Do you like Ghostbusters, Courtney?
Yeah, I like Ghostbusters. For me, I don't really like Halloween themed movies. Have never been in my life per se, except like Nightmare Before Christmas and
of course
actual Halloween. But
Halloween's brilliant.
I always remember my mom though. She would actually get us like movies to watch during the weekend. So one of my classics I'll never ever forget is Beetlejuice. So Tim Burton's lovely, lovely, lovely classic. 1988. And then it was written by Michael McDowell, who also helped on Nightmare Before Christmas. So he helped keep it in the family there.
Keep it in the family.
And it's just, Michael Keaton. He plays Beetlejuice, and it's so comical and so funny because it's dead people realizing that they're dead, and live living people move into their house, and how they all interact with each other is ridiculous. It's the handbook for the living on how to deal with the dead or something. There's a book in the movie that everyone follows that to try to interact with each other.
Yeah.
That's always my favorite.
Regrettably, I have to say I have not seen that one yet, but I'm going to get around to it. I'm going to go from door to door, like, hey, you got Beetlejuice? Can I borrow it for the night? And see what happens.
It's classic. Just don't say it 3 times in a row, because then he'll appear.
Then he'll come and kill us all.
Michael Keaton will come and find
He'll
you.
Haunt our souls. I think they're trying to get a sequel greenlit for like years now, and
yes.
I don't think it's. I think the word is it's not going to happen because it's taking so long.
It's taken so long, and I don't think you should. It's so good just on its own. It's an independent shell.
Kind of, it's like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. My next favorite Halloween film is a little more kiddish, more family friendly, but nevertheless a classic and favorite of mine. Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit from 2005. I love Wallace and Gromit. I grew up with them as a kid, the claymation and stuff in Aardman. And when I heard they're making a movie, I was just, ugh. I can't tell which one I was more excited for, the Wallace and Gromit movie or Toy Story 3. Or Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Probably Star Wars.
I was going to say Star Wars for you, definitely.
Probably Star Wars.
But then your childhood took over and
said, and then I think Toy Story 4 will probably beat that. We'll see. Anyways, it's about Wallace and Gromit. They're saving people's giant vegetables for their giant vegetable competition. Then there's this giant rabbit that's eating them, and they have to catch it. With a bunch of other subplots in there. It's just a lot of fun. Good family friendly film. Good scares. A lot of fun. And Wallace and Gromit. Because everybody loves Wallace and Gromit.
I unfortunately have not seen it, so that's how we equal each other out. He hasn't seen Beetlejuice. I haven't seen that, so it's okay.
Yeah. What are you going to do? And now we're on to one which I think we both have seen. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I'm pretty sure you've seen that.
I've seen it every year.
Oh, yeah. It's a tradition for my family.
Absolutely tradition.
So like all these films, I grew up with Charlie Brown, too, as a kid. And, we watch The Great Pumpkin every Halloween. It's an annual thing.
I personally I can't get over Snoopy and Woodstock's relationship. Like,
I love Snoopy.
That life goals. Just life goals. I want to be Snoopy.
It's a great film, and it's an all-time classic, and if you don't watch it every Halloween, you should, because it's not Halloween without The Great Pumpkin. And just everything about it. It's so funny, and it's a timeless classic.
It is.
Okay, my last one for the Halloween films is one that's kind of new. You said you hadn't seen it. Goosebumps. The new Goosebumps.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I watched it a couple months ago, just out of the blue on Netflix. Like, I've watched everything I want to watch. I don't know what else to watch. And then Goosebumps. I heard okay things about it, checked it out, and it's actually kind of good.
See, I read the books. I read the books religiously when they were coming out, and basically I could get them at the library. So I feel like they attempted to be the Twilight Zone for our generation. I feel like they were trying, because it's the serialized version, different stories, same title, but but then again, Jack Black's in it.
Yeah, and they do a really good job at paying homage to R.L. Stine, the man himself.
Beautiful.
He's in it.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Well, he's in it in the sense that he's being played by Jack Black, but he is also him himself is in it. Cameo, yeah.
Beautiful.
And I think they're making a sequel, which, I applaud. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of heart, a lot of humor. And then, Jack Black with the Goosebumps characters, you can't go wrong. All right, now we're going to really get into nitty-gritty. I think we're going to go a little more fast-paced on this one, because we're at a genre that we're both interested in talking about. Horror!
Whoop, whoop.
the really scary, gory, bloody, gritty, dark, scary stuff.
All of it.
All of the stuff.
All of it.
Do you want to start this one? Or do you want me to start?
I'll start this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm trying to think, because we have to first talk about, if we're going to talk about horror films and the writing of horror, I feel like we have to give homage to the Twilight Zone television series.
Absolutely.
We have to. God bless you, R.I.P. Rod Serling. Thank you, sir, for the creation of the Twilight Zone.
Roddy boy.
I didn't know it was on for only 5 years. Unfortunately, that's really sad.
Then they tried to reboot it twice, I believe. No, there was
a movie.
There was a movie, and then there was a reboot, which sucked.
Yeah, that was bad. That was.
And I think they're trying to make another movie.
Yeah, that was bad. But because we were talking about it earlier too, of all our favorite, exchanging episodes of what we've seen, and
yeah,
I just, for some reason, if you think about in the time that it was written, why it was written, it actually is scary. It's not like the horror.
I think yeah, it's not really the horror. It's more so like it's just new ideas and societal differences and stuff.
Yeah.
Things that sort of challenge the world that people aren't really ready to grasp.
Well, it was fun for me because I did slight research. The first episode was Where Is Everybody? Did you ever see that one?
Which one is that about? So
this guy is just kind of wakes up in, I think, like a convenience store type of place, and there's food, there's a phone, there's something, and he's picking up the phone trying to get people, and so he finds a car, I think, and hotwires it, and he's trying to find people, and he's having a mental breakdown in this town. There's nobody, but there's like real food. It's not spoiled or anything like that.
Right.
So twist for all you, spoiler alert, is it's government testing to see how long an astronaut can survive, because they want to send somebody, it's like either to Mars or the moon at the time, to inhabit and to live. And they came to the conclusion that, this guy was like the best of the best. He was our all-star. He was our poster boy for this program, and he only lasted like 2 weeks in this town in hibernation. It's like this little egg thing that they put him in to do a simulation. And again, that was it aired on October 2nd, 1959. So that was October. So that was a good episode.
Yeah. One of my favorites is 5 Strangers in Search of an Exit.
That's a good one.
Which starts out secluded. These 4 characters are in this
cylinder.
They're in this cylinder.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out how to get out. It's an major, a clown, a ballerina, a hobo, and a bagpipe player. And then I love the shot where they're like, you hear Rod Sterling's voice. He's just sitting there like, and I'm Rod Sterling in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I remember that. I appreciate the fact that for like that episode and a lot of these episodes, but especially that one, it's so simple. And it's one location, the same actors. There isn't much special effects. There's nothing.
That's what I love about science fiction sometimes, or just like anthology stuff in general. It's like you can tell a story that's really compelling and really intriguing and really scary and gripping without all these special effects. You don't have to make the next Star Wars, and that's kind of inspiration behind a project I'm doing right now. Having watched stuff like The Twilight Zone or Star Trek or Stranger Things, The Fly, stuff like that, where it's just kind of like this it's all about the character development, the situations, and it's not about oh my gosh, there's a giant CGI spaceship in the sky.
Well, and it's also at least for this, because of all the censorship, there wasn't a lot of gore, there wasn't a lot of violence, there wasn't like necessarily scary things. They just warped your mind a little bit, because I'm thinking about the episode Eye of the Beholder, and how just simple that was, in the sense it was only taken to the hospital. You never saw anybody's faces till the end, which was the whole twist of it.
That was bizarre, because like when they're unraveling the sheath of the gauze, and then it's like they drop, there's no change, oh my gosh, and like, oh my gosh, she's really ugly.
Poor soul.
She's beautiful. And I turn on the lights and everybody else is ugly, and I'm just, it was the biggest twist I've ever experienced.
I feel like that's definitely a classic one, only because it's sad that it plays into our modern society, and they got it back in their time as well.
It's a show that's very much ahead of its time, I think.
Yes, I can agree to that one. Oh,
All right. I think we should move on now to another
all right.
good one. I think I'm going to mention one of my favorite set of horror films, Evil Dead.
Woohoo!
The Evil Dead.
The original.
Yeah, I
Germs.
had a weird I just discovered this franchise in a very weird way. I first saw the musical. Yes, there's a musical.
Yes, there is.
The funniest and most oddball thing ever. There's a bit where Ash is cutting up all the zombies, and we had like these blood cannons like on the side of the stage,
yep.
and I got to test them out. And so we were sitting through a rehearsal, and so Ash would come up with one of the zombies and slash it on my side of the stage, and then we get just covered with blood. It was so much fun. So I discovered it through that, and then I went to a horror film screening party, and we watched the first Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Well, I mean,
as much as you could for that.
I mean, as much
film.
as I could for that kind. I guess it's not the greatest, but it was, for what it was. It's a cult classic, and I liked it. Saw Evil Dead 2 a couple months later. Don't know why I didn't see it that same month, but I guess it wasn't available at the time. So once I got it, I was like, I got to see it. So I saw it, liked it. Army of Darkness, though.
Army of Darkness
is something else. Just completely switched the game. Ash is in medieval times, fighting the Evil Dead again. It was so great. And I even got to check out the first couple episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which, if you love those movies, you'll love the show, because it's just the movies in TV form. Like, nothing changed. It's a great use of practical effects, blood spatters.
I walked in.
The humor, everything it's spot on.
I walked in with my friends who were watching it because I hadn't seen it. I haven't seen the show, and so I kind of walked in and I forgot about the Evil Dead. I remember the remake that came out a couple years ago more than the original, unfortunately. But I just walked in, I just sat there, and then they explained, this is the TV show, because there was no like titles or anything when I walked in, and it was interesting to say the least, because you just sat there and you took it. You just took it. You're like, okay,
yeah,
all right, that's cool.
Sam Raimi at a very young age doing that's one of his first movies. Yeah,
it was. Well, Bruce Campbell.
The two of them were buds, because he was in all the Spider-Man films with him, and then he actually is executive producer of this new Ash vs. Evil Dead show.
Oh, beautiful!
Which was very I was looking more forward to like an Evil Dead 4 than a TV show. But then to hear that he was attached to it, Sam Raimi, I was just like, hey,
give you a little hope.
No problem, do it, whatever you want to do, as long as it's Evil Dead. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. I'm gonna try and get a hold of that one and watch it again.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you got?
I can tell you about my first horror film I ever saw.
Which is?
The Haunting.
Oh gosh, go ahead.
So I was, it came out in 1999, so by the time it came out like on VHS, old school here, it was probably 2000, so I'm 6 or 7 at the time.
Oh gosh.
And I snuck into the living room because my older brother was babysitting my full brother and I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to sleep in the room. I don't know, I wanted to be with my older brother, and he's like, well, you can't watch this. I go, but I won't, total lying. And I made a palette, and I remember him saying, okay, well, you have to be, lay down, close your eyes, go to sleep, but you can stay out here. Of course, did I do that? No. And so I watched the whole thing, and I will never forget the scene where Lily Taylor, the main character, she goes through the first part of it. She goes to the fireplace. There's a gorgeous, beautiful, huge fireplace, and you're just, it's stunning. And then later on in the movie, I don't know, I can't remember why at the moment, but it basically like explodes, and everything that was in the fireplace like just explodes, and how creepy it is. And that was my first horror film at the age of 6.
Nice.
Well, because it was it's a modern remake of House on Haunted Hill, which I did see when I got older with the lovely Vincent Price. And that, I actually really, again, I like the original more than I like the remake, but I love the fact because it was shot in black and white, and it was very Hollywood set feeling.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, we're gonna go on location. And I always remember because they turned off all the lights practically to keep the house dark, and
so it's kind of vintage
feel, absolutely. And it was like they used the huge spotlights on wheels, and that's how they lit the whole set. And so you literally, because of the set, you could only see, you know, a diameter of light, and that was it. You couldn't see the rest of it.
Yeah.
Until they kind of slowly turned it on. So that was, I think that's my first ever horror film I ever saw in my entire life.
Nice. My first one was actually Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted to watch it, but I was scared to watch it. And
Who let you watch that?
My dad. My mom was out of town with my older sister, and he's like, and we weren't gonna go trick or treating, so it's like, hey, let's watch Halloween.
Oh,
so we just got a big bowl of candy. We watched Halloween. I'm like, this is awesome.
It's good. I love, so random fun fact there, that mask cost them $2 at the store, and it was a Star Trek William Shatner mask that they redesigned.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The power of filmmaking.
Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard when I found that out, because I did see it a long time ago, and I was at a Halloween party. I was about maybe 12 or 13, and the girl that was hosting it just blew out of hand, and there was way more people than we needed, and she wanted to scare them. So her dad hid at the party, and we kind of made like jokes at the other girls, like, oh, you know, he's around, whatever. He dressed up like Michael Myers, and we had this whole huge skit and scared the living crap out of these girls. I couldn't see what was happening because I was on the ledge, like hanging over. But the funny thing was they didn't get it. They were just scared, and so the host and I were like, okay, we're gonna watch Halloween now, and they lost their minds. I just, oh my goodness, that one was so good. I do like Halloween a lot. John Carpenter,
the
job,
legend.
Sir.
Good job, buddy. Way to go. All right. I'm gonna mention another. I was gonna talk about Scream, but we'll save that for later.
You'll save that for later.
I want to talk about one that I just watched a couple nights ago that I'm really, really excited about. The Fly.
When was that made?
I think it was like the 40s or the 50s.
Okay.
It was a David Cronenberg movie.
Okay.
And it's about this guy as a scientist. Well, actually, no. So this guy gets a phone call from his brother's wife. Says that she just murdered her husband. And then...
As you do.
Yeah. And then she's trying to tell them how it happened or why he murdered him. And then not to say that she hated him. She did it because he wanted her to. And he's like, why? He's like, because he's a scientist and he did experiments and he basically turned himself into a fly. And so, spoilers, if you don't want to know what happens to the fly, go away. Basically, the scientist makes this machine that can transport matter. And he's trying to figure out how to like transport living matter like humans.
Okay.
And so you transport a cat disappears. Never comes back.
Oh, fun.
Transport a person one time, it works. But he does it again. This time a fly gets into the machine.
Oh.
And basically he has the hand and the head of a fly. And then the fly has the head of a human. So it's
that's
like
weird.
They're both like half human, half fly. So then the wife, it's basically about the wife then trying to catch the fly and see if she can reverse the experiment. But then the husband's like, no, just kill me. This is hell. This is hell. So then you find out, okay, she killed him because the husband wanted him to. So then Vincent Price, who's the brother of the scientist that got turned into a fly, he's trying to find the fly then. So then it's about them finding the fly. And then this is going to sound really dopey, but it looks like a dopey scene, but you see the fly and he's caught in a spider web. And the spider's about to eat him. And it looks dopey because you can tell the spider's fake. And that there's a guy that has like his head rotoscoped onto a fly's body. But still, like it's so creepy because he's just screaming in terror, like, help me, go away. And then when he gets actually eaten, it's just like, ugh, there's no gore or anything. It's just like, it's like body horror, and it's crazy. And I understand now why they wanted to go that route for the new Fantastic Four film, which sucked. But they took inspiration from David Cronenberg, and I understand why. So I want to watch that film again.
I mean, that sounds,
it's so good.
So he's the guy, you know how we all have those classic sound effects? The guy falling off the ledge, you know?
Yeah.
So he's the guy that invented the fly voice.
Help me!
Yes!
Yeah, no, do you remember The Emperor's New Groove?
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I thought, like, oh my gosh, that is a direct reference to The Fly. I didn't even realize it until now.
It's so perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was not as grotesque as the actual movie.
Okay, so grotesque movie.
Yeah.
My one, The Shining.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about The Shining.
Let's talk about The Shining. Kubrick, you crazy.
I love Kubrick.
Batch of burnt cookies.
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
Kubrick is...
Jesus.
I don't know. I love directors
He's
that are...
a sneaky little guy. Because, okay, so you all know the classic scene. Everyone knows it. Even if you have not seen The Shining, you've seen the elevator doors with the blood rushing out of it, right?
Gosh.
This is how he got past the censors. Oh, yes. They tried to take that part out of the trailer. Because at that time, they're now broadcasting trailers on television. And everyone's like, no. He convinced them that it was rust water. And they went, oh, okay, it's rust water. Okay, let's keep it in. And that's how that trend started.
Wow.
Sneaky little dude. Because my favorite character, honestly, in The Shining has to be Lloyd. Lloyd the bartender.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Joe Turkel is his last name. He's worked with Kubrick a couple times. But my favorite line from the whole movie, I feel like, that obviously is not from Jack Nicholson. Mm-hmm. Women, can't live with them, can't live without them.
I love that line too.
So good. Mm-hmm. And that location is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Beautiful location.
Yeah, I love directors that try and do different things. And Kubrick was one. He did a science fiction film. He did more than one horror film, I think. He did like a romantic comedy or something.
Yeah.
And he's just done he did a war film, Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
I just love everything he's done. And The Shining is definitely one. I haven't finished it, but I've seen most of it to know what happens. And oh my gosh, it's so great. It's one of those films where it's like I'm terrified to watch it, but when I'm watching it, I am enjoying every second of it.
Here's Johnny.
And Jack Nicholson, man. I miss him. Jack Nicholson, wherever you are, get out of retirement.
Yeah.
Do another couple films before you kick the can, please.
I agree.
He's awesome.
I
love it.
He's really good. What about another classic? Do you have another classic film?
Well, I don't know if this is a classic, but Scream is the last one that I have on my list that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. It's classic, like 90s stuff.
I loved it because it made fun of every horror trope out there, but still... was still actually like scary and legit as a horror film, like oh what now? I'm the dopey guy, right? And I'm gonna die. Yep, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you are.
You're gonna die.
As a matter of fact, yes.
And then the whole thing's just I mean,
I will always
sex is whatever, but the whole thing is like, oh, this girl is like they're trying to get into this girl's pants and she doesn't want to, but then they end up doing it when everyone's dying, and it's just so.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
I will always remember when the first time I saw it, and then I think I went over to like a friend's house, because it wasn't my mom who did it, but it was like a friend's mom's house, and she had the freaking popcorn thing. I didn't know that was real. Like honestly, because my mom always made homemade popcorn, and so the tin can on the stove and how it explodes.
Oh yeah.
I've never been fearful of popcorn until that movie. I mean, shit's scary, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the opening scene. I can't forget that.
Yeah.
Was that done in one shot?
I want to say yes, that the white shot, we actually see it, but there's a couple close-ups.
Okay.
That I remember. At
least when she's talking on the phone, I think it's all like a one shot.
Yes, that's a one shot. Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah, great movie. I was gonna try and watch the other ones, but then I never got around to it. But yeah, the first one is great.
First one's good.
That's all I have on my list. Do you have anything else?
I love horror films. I went through my list of all the ones that I feel like I've seen, and I have my favorites. I mean, can we talk about Signs, please?
Signs? Sure. I haven't seen Signs, but
it's like the only good M. Night Shyamalan movie besides The Sixth Sense.
Agreed.
Signs, because Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix is in that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Young. I would say maybe like early 20s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, Abigail Breslin was in it, like an 8-year-old.
Oh gosh.
She is so precious. What I liked about the movie is all the setups, and you don't really know. You just think because it's Mel Gibson is a pastor. His wife tragically died, so he has 2 kids, and then his younger brother, or her younger brother, the wife's younger brother, Uncle Joaquin, I don't remember his character's name, comes and lives with them in the farm, and you just think these kids have these kind of weird quirks, and you're like, oh, well, their mom died, they're coping, this is how they cope type of thing. No, it was a perfect setup for literally everything that comes. And for those of you who've seen the movie, my favorite scene is, so aliens are coming, and there's crop signs everywhere, and
that's the title.
Yeah, hence the title. We're all gonna die. And Joaquin Phoenix is in the closet watching the movie because Mel Gibson's like, okay, the kids can't watch TV anymore. We're gonna put it away. So he's literally in the closet watching this home video of a party from Mexico. Because now these crop signs are popping up everywhere. So in Mexico, and that's when you actually see the alien for the first time. And I remember watching that when it came out in 2002. So a year later, I was probably about like maybe 10 years old, 11 years old, watching it. And you see the alien for the first time. And oh my goodness, it terrified me. What was cool about the aliens is that they changed color with the background.
Oh gosh.
So when you saw him, because the alien was running through like the trees and stuff, he was green. And so he really stood out. And then M. Night Shyamalan's character, because he makes a cameo in every one of his movies.
Oh really?
Had a house, locked one of the aliens in, and Mel Gibson had this interaction with the alien, because Mel Gibson's character didn't believe that there was aliens. He doesn't believe in that, and there was an alien. And then the classic shot from that film is after his encounter with this alien that he kind of has to fight. He walks in the house, and there's Joaquin Phoenix on the couch with Abigail Breslin and the little boy character, and they all have tinfoil hats on their head, so the aliens wouldn't read their minds, and they're just sitting there all terrified with the tinfoil hats.
Oh man,
that's a good one. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I want to though. I'm kind of with Hacksaw Ridge coming out, I'm kind of on a Mel Gibson high. I need to see all his films, so
yes,
I'm gonna put in the extra effort to go see Signs before Hacksaw Ridge.
Yes, I think so too.
To wrap things up, why don't we talk about horror films today? Because this year particularly, I think, has been a really, really good year for horror films. They've been, all of them, most of them have been coming out, yes, they're cranking them out, but they're all, like, really good. Like, they make them for under $5 million. Yes. And then they make their money back, and then, I think Lights Out came out. That one was well received. Don't Breathe, The Conjuring 2.
Love that one. I actually did see that one.
What else came out this year, horror-wise? Blair Witch came out, but Blair Witch didn't do well.
No, it didn't do well.
Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've seen a movie go from 100 to below 50 for Rotten Tomatoes. Oh. It was at 100% for the longest time, then it, 50-30%. I was like, what happened? It's like Purist, I guess.
Purist happened. No, I really, really love The Conjuring 2. So horror films, but I actually do like watching paranormal things, and knowledge.
It's cool.
Knowledge is power. Ed and Lorraine Warren, great couple. You know, and everyone's like, oh, they're real people. Ed died, passed away actually just a couple years ago, like within the last 10 years, and what I liked about The Conjuring 2 is it really did scare me, because the main demon went after the little girl, and of course they set it up single mom with kids, and I really appreciated they incorporate a couple other little stories like the Crooked Man. That's a old nursery rhyme about this crazy guy, and so they actually created him in the movie, and then of course we have to go with the fact that they used a possessed nun. Can't go wrong with that.
Typical.
No, I really liked it.
Cool. Yeah. Was there an Insidious film that came out this year?
I want to say no, because I think it came out last year, because we have chapter 1, 2, and 3, and I read today that 4 is in the works. Oh, okay. Or at least, I think they're in post right now.
I like those films too.
I do.
Those were really I felt those were kind of like old, like throwbacks to old-fashioned horror. Because I know what but the ending was just like.
I loved the design. I mean, this is really bad to say, but I loved that demon the demon,
oh yeah, the demon looks great.
The demon was great, and I love his lair.
In chapter 2.
No, in chapter 1.
I guess. No, wait, it was in chapter 1, right?
Where it's that old-fashioned, like, 1920s theater. And
yeah.
what scared me the most is the machine, the sewing machine that he's using to sharpen his talons. No, not saying I'm a demon. That was me. I worked in the costume shop. And that was, like, my space. I have one of those old machines. And I just kind of sat there just, oh, my God. Not okay. And, I love that design.
Misusing the machine.
Misusing the machine. I remember seeing chapter 2 focused more on the dad.
Yeah, because the dad was taken over.
Right.
And he was still stuck in the other realm.
Yeah.
So then it was about them trying to figure that out and then get him out.
I haven't seen 3, though.
I haven't seen 3 either. I don't want to say it's bad. Because I heard 2 was bad, and I ended up really liking number 2.
I liked it. I have no problem with it. Because it's James Wan is the guy who
Yeah, that's right. He directed both of them.
Yes, he did.
And he's just on a roll.
But he didn't. I don't think he did the third one.
He didn't do the third one.
Okay. That was a good one.
He produced it, but...
Oh, that's right.
He's kind of in high demand now, so I think he has the right to choose whether he wants to return to certain franchises or not.
Well, I mean, he kicked off Saw. Let's be honest.
Oh gosh, yeah, he did. I haven't seen any of those. I don't know if I want to.
It's rough. You get the point of it. You get the gist. You're good.
Yeah.
Like, you're good. I might just see the first one because there's like 10 of them. It's ridiculous. They just keep cranking them out for no reason. But
I'm sure they're gonna make more eventually.
Jigsaw and that, it's recognizable, I would say. But
yeah,
I like James Wan. I have no problem with him.
James Wan is great. He's a great visionary guy. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think we should.
Okay.
Because some people consider it to be a horror, in the realm of horror. Stranger Things.
Stranger Things?
You've never heard of Stranger Things?
I've heard of it, but...
Oh my gosh.
It's the Netflix one.
It's the Netflix one.
Okay.
You not seen it?
I've not seen it.
Well, I won't spoil it for you, but I'm just going to say it's really, really, really good.
It's the little kids.
It's the kids, yeah. It's like an 80s science fiction horror series.
Okay.
And it's, oh my gosh, I've never been so in love with this TV show before.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it was designed exclusively for Netflix?
No,
picked it up?
The Duffer Brothers had been shopping it around studios for a long time. No one think it was going to work.
Wow.
Netflix finally decided to take a chance on it, and then when the first trailer dropped, I was the only one that was like, "Oh, this is going to be great." Everyone's like,
excellent.
"The hell is this? This is weird." And then it's a hit.
For me, what was a hit, and for me personally is not a hit, is AHS, American Horror Story. I had so high. Okay, the first season was great, and the concept, shout out to Ryan Murphy, great idea. We're gonna make serialized television, limited episodes, only 10. I want to say 10 episodes.
I think so.
Per season, complete story. That's it. And done with the story. We'll recycle the actors, which I think is great. Kathy Bates is wonderful. Jessica Lange was there forever. I think until Freak Show. I think Freak Show was her last one, which was the carnival theme. I loved Horror House. The Murder House was the first season, and it was great setup. Semi one location, same kind of story. I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it, though most people have. It was good. I liked it. It had a lot of good twists for me personally. I was scared of it. So then AHS 2 is announced. We're excited. We're getting ready. I don't think they call it chapter 2 necessarily because the episodes are chapters, but it's Asylum. I was like, okay, I can get into it. And then it was all, sorry to use language, but it was torture porn. It was a genre of torture porn, and I hated it. I didn't like it. I didn't get the concept of it. It had a good story, kinda. And so I was like, okay, I'm a little dedicated to the franchise. I'll go with it. Season 3 happened, which was Coven, and we all agreed that should never have happened because there was way too many storylines for way too many. Because that was all themed witches in New Orleans, which is a great setting. Classic setting. I don't know what happened. And so I haven't seen Freak Show, which is the 4th one. Hotel's the 5th one. I've heard... I couldn't figure out the theme because they tease it for a couple months.
Yeah.
6th season, I don't know what the theme is.
They've been being really sneaky about what it is.
But I heard good things about it. And what I heard, I don't know if it's correct or not. I'm going off, secondhand knowledge here, that every couple episodes, like I would say every 2 episodes is a story. Maybe about like the same event or same place. I don't know. Maybe they learn from their sins of Coven. I don't know. But season 1, great. Rest of it, not so much.
Well, maybe I'll consider checking it out. Maybe.
At least the pilot. I would say give it the pilot. Yes, it has a gore. It has sex, which I could leave without. But the concept is fun. If you watch it, then I'll explain the rest of it. But I would say the pilot episode.
I'll consider checking it out. Alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Obviously, we've proven one thing, that we like Halloween and horror. And I think, the cool thing about film is that's kind of what film was built on, is the ability to invoke an emotional response in the audience. And one of those responses, I think, that's been pivotal to cinema is horror, and to make people jump or jolt in their seat in fear. And there's also to make people really happy, make people laugh, make people cry. But I think cinema has been really founded on the making people afraid.
Yes.
And not that it's a terrible thing. I mean, if you're doing it like torture porn, it depends on how you do it. I mean, me personally, I don't get into much horror, but when it's done right, I praise it and I enjoy getting scared.
Yes.
I mean, immediately after I will watch something incredibly happy.
You're one of those people.
I'm one of those people.
I like to sit in the icky feeling.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't know why. I do. I appreciate the fact that it takes you out of your comfort zone. Believe it or not, in a safe environment.
Yeah.
It really does, because it does kind of change the way you look at things, the way you feel about things, but you're not moving. You're not mobile. So you're in a confined space, which I think is excellent.
Right.
I like that part.
So thank you, everybody, for your films, all you filmmakers, for making your awesome horror films and Halloween films. Thank you for everything you've done for the film community, the genre.
Yes.
Keep it up. Keep making them $5 million short films, $5 million feature films. You're doing it. You're doing it smart.
Yes.
Keep doing it smart. And with that, we're gonna close out here. Thank you guys for tuning into this very special Halloween episode of the Vince Salerno Podcast. If you haven't seen any episodes on YouTube, it's because I've been trying to get all the old episodes on YouTube before I do any new ones. So this, obviously, if you're listening, this is a new one, so there's that to tide you guys over. But I'll be back hopefully mid-November with new episodes, special guests, and all that fun stuff. So first off, Courtney, thank you for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me down. I love it.
Hopefully you can come back and do another episode or something.
I would love it.
Where can the children find you? Social medias.
The social medias. Working on my blog, trying to get that up and running. But Candid_Campbell, what is the kind of start of my blog.
That's Twitter. Yeah,
that's Twitter. Well, that's Twitter and Instagram right now. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. And then hopefully I'll get my blog up probably around the same time you have your next episode for the podcast. So
sweet.
Yes, I'll talk just about life in general. So
Life is good.
I have random stories.
And then as for me, guys, you can find me on social media, Twitter @TheBigU75, Instagram @TheBigU75_Vince, and then the rest of my stuff is going to be in the description below. We hope you guys have an awesome and safe Halloween. Watch all your favorite Halloween films, and maybe try out some new ones you haven't seen. If you haven't seen The Fly or Stranger Things, or God forbid you haven't seen Evil Dead or The Shining or Beetlejuice. Definitely check out Beetlejuice. Yeah, so check all those out, and we'll be checking them out too, because we love them. I just put in my password.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
You're good.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. God bless, and peace out.